Hi, this is Maria. Welcome to Maria's Craft Room. Today I'm going to be making Christmas cards. So we're going to be making variations of these two. These are my prototypes. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this one has some pretty pattern paper and some heat embossed little ribbon at the top. And this one has some dry embossing and the same heat emboss here and a different ribbon. Okay. Now, I put a little blue on the snowflakes here, but the one I'm going to make now is going to have a red background, so we're just going to leave the snowflakes without the blue. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making. First thing is you need 8 1/2 by 11 piece of white card. This was for white, but you can use whatever card you like. 8 1/2 by 11 standard piece of paper. I cut it in half, and then I folded it in half. Okay, that gives me 2 card bases. Each of these is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Standard A2 size card. Okay. Aside from that, you're going to need solid paper in the size 4 by 5 1/4. And you'll need some pattern paper or some pretty accents. This is pattern paper, and this is a white shimmer card. And these are cut at 3 3/4 by 5. So if you look at all of them together, you will see that they are a 1/4 inch shorter and narrower from each other. Okay, so I start with my card base and I go a 1/4 inch smaller and smaller. That's how I got my measurements. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside for a minute. The pattern paper came from Midnight Noel. I got this from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a pack of assorted papers. Okay, we're using this one, and I'm also going to use the snowflakes I got from the Paper Studio. This is an embossing folder for dry embossing. So first thing I'm gonna do is grab my shimmer card. We're going to put it right through the embossing folder, and I'm going to send this through my die cutting machine. Okay, and now I have snowflakes on my card. Let's make the inside pieces. I'm going to use Illuminated Christmas. This is from Stampin Up. It is retired, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm using. I'm going to use May the peace and hope of Christ's birth be with you throughout the year. Alright, next we're going to take some scrap cardstock and some Versamark. Before I do the Versamark, we're going to get an embossing buddy and just cover the whole card. This will take the static off the card, and it makes the Versamark work a lot better. So here's my stamp, here's my Versamark. Let's get this stamped. I'm going to make 2 of these for my 2 cards. It's the same sentiment. I'm going to do it once here, pick straight up, and once up here. Pick straight up, cover up my Versamark. And I have, this is just a coffee filter. I'm using Silver Embossing Powder by Ranger. And we're just going to dump this right over top of this Versamark. The filter just catches the extra. You're going to want to be generous. Tap off the excess. Looks pretty good. I keep a little brush just to get any excess off of here. Okay. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and dump this right back into the pot. because I'm going to use a heat gun that is powerful and it will blow things all over the place. Alright, so we're going to use this heat gun. This heat gun is from Recollections. I bought it at Michael's on sale. It's very loud, so I'm going to have to cut the sound when I do this. Okay, and that looks very nice. Okay, I'm going to take my story label. This is a Stampin' Up! Punch. I believe this one is still active. And I'm going to cut out my sentiment. I'm going to try to center it as best I can. Take a good look. And punch. Let's get the other one. And I'm really close to that top edge. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Alright, so there we go. And I cut off a little bit. I was too close to the top. I'm going to take my little sanding block that I use all the time and just, we're going to cheat and take some of the corners off of there. This is literally a sanding block that I use on my nails. And we're just going to round that so it's the way it's supposed to be. I stamped my image too close to the edge of the paper, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. Alright, let's begin the assembly here. So we have a blue with a blue paper, a red with a glossy paper, 2 card bases, and 2 sentiments. Okay, now I want a starburst to go behind these. So the Starburst Punch by Stampin' Up! Is, I believe, retired now, but it gives a really nice shape. So what I'm going to do, so that we don't waste paper, is I'm going to cut it out of the background piece. You're not going to see that anyway, because it's going to be layered. So you might as well not waste another piece of paper. Just make sure you're not too close to the edge, or else that cutout will show through. It's going to layer like that. You'll never see it. Okay, and then these will layer on top like that. Now we need some ribbon. So this was purchased at Michael's. Just a pretty 3/8 of an inch shimmer ribbon, and this one is white with translucent. Okay, and I'm going to cut just enough to cover the card, and we're going to wrap around. Actually, it goes like that. Alright, so now we can start the assembly. Now, on my sample card, I had used a sponge dauber to make my snowflakes blue, because it kind of matched the background. But I don't think that I want red snowflakes, so we're just going to leave them like this. That shimmer card is pretty enough. Alright, so now let's begin the assembly. Let's start with the red, and I'm going to use some permanent adhesive, tape runner. I'm going to cover up that hole nicely, line it up, stick it down. Okay, we're going to do the blue one the same way. And you never even know that I cheated there. Okay, now let's put our ribbon down. Now I'm noticing that with this one I put a knot a little, I didn't make a bow, I made a knot. So let's cut this piece again. We'll make it a little longer so I can tie the pieces together. I'm going to cut this right in half. Cut it at an angle. And we'll tie that together. Give it a nice little knot. Okay. Finagle that the way you want it. Clean up your edges. And we're ready to put this down. Turn it over, and we're just going to use some tape to stick it down. Okay, and then we can place this right on our card base. Okay, let's get this one down. This one is going to be a little easier because the ribbon goes right down the center. You don't have to line this up perfectly, but since I have a grid right behind me, we're going to try it. And then this will layer like this. Alright, let's get this one down on the card base. There we go. That's what we have so far. Alright, so there's one, and here's the other one. Okay, and we're going to lay these down with some dimensionals. Pop them up a little bit. We're going to go 2 on the top part and 2 on the bottom part, and that way on this one it will straddle that ribbon. Okay, and this one is just going to be centered. We'll pop it up too, but the placement of the placement doesn't matter so much with these. And we'll just center that one. Okay, let's add a little bit of bling to that. I like to work in threes. Okay. And we'll put 3 on this as well. And there we have it. Thanks for watching.